Okay, well, welcome, and I am so glad that you're here. And I wanted to take some time and go over everything I learned this past week. So, for those of you that don't know, this past week I was in Sedona, Arizona, and I took a advanced training in mantra and the yoga of sound. And I'm just so excited about it. I learned so much. And this was actually the last training. That I can take with my teacher. Her name is Kia Miller. She's a very advanced yoga instructor. She has a program called Radiant Body Yoga, and she brings in breath work and Kundalini and mantra and meditation and vinyasa all into one class. And so that's a style that I really appreciate and that I also teach in my own classes. I love just the combination of all these things together. They're very powerful. So I wanted to just share a little bit about my experience and also just to go deep into what mantra is and how and why it is so profound. So, I learned that mantra is one of the most powerful practices that we can use to create deep transformation. And it's funny because when I came to the center at the very first day, were able to set our intention for the training. And just the word came to me was to transform and trust. So I had these two T's along with me the whole time. And then I learned that mantra was a way to just create that deep transformation. And I just knew I was in the right place at the right time. And I love this yoga philosophy that I keep learning about in all different ways as I learn more about yoga, that we go from the gross to the subtle. So I entered yoga and I started doing yoga back when I was in college as a way to stay fit. I took a hot yoga class and I was very dedicated. I did like 30 days in a row for 30 days in a row of yoga in a hot, sweaty room. And I just love the physical aspect. And then, so as I've progressed in my own yoga practice as a teacher, I'm realizing that I started out at this very physical level, this very gross level, and I'm getting more into this subtle area of yoga. And so I think of mantra as a very subtle practice because it can be chanting out loud, but a lot of mantra, we get into mantra so that we can come to this beautiful silence, almost like the sound of silence. And we live in a world now where people talk too much and they listen too little, right? So there is a lot of blockages in our throat center. If you are familiar with the chakras, which are energy centers that go all the way from the base of the spine all the way through to the crown of the head, we have these energy centers, and sometimes we're blocked in them. Sometimes they're maybe a little bit too energetic. And the throat chakra here, a lot of us, I'm noticing just in our culture, we're talking too much, we're listening too little, right? We don't listen to other people. We want to voice our opinion, which is great, but there's also that balance, right? So there's a lot of blockages in this area, ears and throat. We are blocking our own expression. We are not processing our emotion, and we're constantly around noise, right? Constantly around noise. Even I was staying in a room in Sedona, and I went to bed one night and I was going, "Oh, the silence is so nice, but what is that noise?" And it was the humming sound of the refrigerator, and it was disruptive. And it just really, I think we're constantly around these artificial sounds, and it can be really disruptive, Even our phones, we're constantly around these machines that make noise, or even just people that are chattering. If you listen to the news, there's just a lot of chatter and talk and loud. And ultimately, I'm seeing a big disconnection from ourselves, a big disconnection from the power of stillness, the power of quiet, and and even more ultimately from a disconnection from ourselves, but from our divine self, from our higher power, from the universe, from God. So whatever it is that aligns with you, if God is the word or if the universe is the word, we through all this endless noise, we have this really big disconnect. So I wanted to get into what mantra actually is. And the word mantra, man, means mind, and tra means to free or to protect. And mantra is actually a Sanskrit word. It's I've heard mixed things that it's considered a dead language, but I think more recently there's a lot of scholars and people that are bringing it to life, but it's not actually a spoken language. People don't actually speak Sanskrit to each other, but we read Sanskrit in text, and we use chant Sanskrit during our mantra and our practice. So, mantra to free or to protect the mind. And I think it's really funny how this word mantra has been integrated in our English vocabulary. We hear people say, "Oh, my mantra is," or "That's my mantra," and we're giving this word a new life, which is really beautiful. At the very least, to just bring more awareness to this really powerful instrument, I would call it. So I'm going to read this quote here from my manual. Mantra is a tool to still the mind, bring peace, and transform emotions. And it really is that powerful. It really is that profound. It is considered a vibrational medicine. Okay. And that's big. That's big stuff. So sound currents are very powerful. We understand that sound currents can actually organize or reorganize your energy field. It can alter your brain chemistry and it also shifts your consciousness. So we know scientifically that sound has structure, okay? Sound is very powerful. And I'll get into a study that was done a few years back. I'll share my screen, but I also wanted to kind of bring this into another context um, that in the Bible, there is the book of Genesis, which is how God created earth and life and people. And in the Bible, the translation says, God said, let there be light, right? And so, how did God create the universe, create the earth, create light? With his words. He spoke them. His sound current actually manifested the reality that we are in today. So, whether you believe that or not, it's a really beautiful way to think of sound and the strength of sound. And so there was a study done by Dr. Emoto, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and just show you a couple of images here from this study. Okay, so this is Dr. Emoto, and so he did a water experiment. I'm not sure what year this was, but he believed water is the mirror that can show us what we cannot see. It is the blueprint for our reality, which can change with a single positive thought. All it takes is faith if you're open to it. And I love this idea that there's just so much that we cannot see in this world. And that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, right? Um, and studies are showing that we can kind of actually now start to see um, how this all works. So he actually went in and he studied water crystals. So, with a very high telescope, he started to say the word hope to this particular water crystal here. He repeated the word hope over and over and over again. And this is the image that he saw. Beautiful, right? Symmetrical, beautiful, how the light hits all these different little angles. Then he said the words love and gratitude to this particular water crystal. So this water was frozen. And came another image, right? You can see this is a little bit different, but still symmetrical, geometrical, beautiful, right? And then he said, what did he say for this one? I'm not sure the word that he said for this one, but he said some negative words to this water crystal. And as you see here, it's distorted, right? It started off symmetrical, this beautiful geometrical shape here, but then it came crashing, really. Okay, it stopped the growth. Okay, it stopped its own growth. It dissipated. Okay, and so this water experiment really showed how words affect the matter around us. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing just momentarily. Can I figure out how to do that? Stop share. Okay, great. Yes, so words have a major impact on not only us, but the matter, the organic matter around us. So, food for thought, how we talk to ourselves, how we talk to others is so meaningful, is so significant, right? If that water crystal can actually change its physicality, its physical dimensions, what do we do to ourselves when we look in the mirror and we say, oh gosh, I don't look so good. Oh gosh, I'm looking old. Oh gosh, I look terrible, right? Or when we tell someone else, you really shouldn't do that, or something negative that we tell other people. Our words have meaning. When we speak them out loud, the universe listens, right? So that was a really big takeaway um, that I learned. And I was really lucky that over the past 7 days, most of the words that I was saying, at least out loud, were positive, were transformational, were very self-aware. I still had the thoughts in my head of, oh, you're not good enough, right? Oh, everyone is so much more advanced than you. A lot of comparison that I noticed for myself in particular. Um, but we're all a work in progress, right? So, so I think the biggest thing that I would teach other people and myself is just to give ourselves grace and to give ourselves the awareness. Okay, as long as we're aware, oh, that's interesting. My mind wants to compare. Oh, that's interesting that why am I telling myself, not such nice things? That way, when we recognize these patterns, we can ultimately change them. And just a couple other things I wanted to go over that, and I'm reading this from my notes, that so why does mantra and chanting work? And actually, when we chant out loud, we're touching different points on our palate. So we're actually with our tongue, we're actually if meridian points that are all over our body, if you follow Chinese medicine, acupuncture, that kind of thing, we're stimulating certain meridian points in our upper palate, and that actually activates the hypothalamus and the pineal gland. Okay, and that helps to create a more hormonal balance. All right, mantra, the the words that we use, the specific words that we use, specifically using in Sanskrit, helps to repattern our thought. It helps to rewire those emotional loops that we keep telling ourselves. Do you ever find yourself obsessing about something? I know I have. That's one of my patterns. And it helps to rewire those loops that we get stuck in. It disrupts, it interrupts that loop, and it opens us up to presence. And something else I that was really big for me this past week that my teacher said was that you can only experience your higher self, the divine, God, in the present moment, right? That's big. I'm going to say that again. You could only really experience the divine, your higher self, God, in the present moment. We can't experience that in the past. It doesn't exist. We can't experience it in the future. The future is unknown. We don't know if the future is even going to happen from one moment to the next, right? We could only experience these moments of exalted states here and now. So, mantra really helps to bring us in the present moment. And I'll actually also just talk briefly about the mala. And so this is a mala. It has 108 beads, not including the main bead here, which is the called the guru bead. And it's used to basically keep track of a repetition. So if you're repeating mantra over and over again, you'll place your finger, thumb, and middle finger on the bead and push it away and keep track that way of how many that you're doing. So you don't have to sit and do 108, but let's say you want to do 10, so you count off, you start here, and then you head back towards the guru bead. And why did I bring that up? I think that was for present moment. Oh, and so when we are trying to, we're tr always trying, it's sometimes hard to do to stay in the present moment. Mala sometimes helps, right? Because because it's also physical. We're actually feeling your fingertips touch the bead. Okay, so physicality helps to bring us into the present moment as we go from this very gross to subtle practice, right? And so the repetition for the present moment, and I lost my thought. Hmm. Okay, maybe it will come back to me. Maybe it won't. We'll see. Um, so lastly, there are more studies that are being done specifically out of the University of San Diego, and they are actually studying the impact of sound and meditation and mantra all together, and how it impacts the physical body. So they actually discovered that when you access exalted states through sound, so through chanting, through mantra, through music, your chemistry changes rapidly. They study this, you actually have a healthier gut biome, right? And we're learning more and more that the gut biome is extremely crucial to our overall body's health, right? That's why probiotics and prebiotics have become so popular in the past maybe 5, 7 years. Our gut biome is like another brain center. It is crucial to the functionality of our entire being. Okay, so healthier gut biome. Okay, improved glandular function. So we have glands all throughout the body. They have all these different functions that I'm not going to go into, mostly because it's out of my scope, but improved function in the body and more. So that study goes really in depth. If you want to look that up, just Google University of San Diego study of the body chemistry through sound. And I love that all these modern studies, neuroscientific studies, these colleges are now recognizing what yogis have been practicing for thousands of years, that sound shapes the nervous system, right? And so, from my own experience, after having chanted every day, multiple times a day, from sunrise, literally going and hiking out and being in Sedona and waking up chanting with the sun rising and chanting with the sun setting, and throughout the whole day, I recognize in myself so much more of a connection with myself. It's like all the chatter kind of, it's not completely gone, but it starts to dissipate. And I'm starting to recognize it as not beneficial, not for me. That doesn't help to serve me at this moment. Or is that really my mind? Or was that planted somewhere along the way? I feel more empowered. I feel more connected to my body, to my voice. I feel stronger in my own voice, in my opinion. I feel stronger in even just being able to host a chat like this. And I feel much more clear in my work, clear in what my goal is every day, clear that what is most important for me right now in life, is, family and work and relationships and love. And in order for those things to all come together, to all work for me, I have to be devoted to myself. I have to take time every day, just a little bit, or maybe a little bit more, to devote to myself, to devote to my practice. And my yoga practice really is a devotion to myself. It's moving my body, it's getting into my more subtle body. And I now have a mantra practice where I've been doing every day, maybe up to twice a day, where I am silently chanting 108 rounds of a personal practice. And so that's been my experience. And yeah, and I think that's all that I wanted to share today. I hope it wasn't too much. But I would love to, as I'm still processing all this information, I'm going to be going in deeper and sharing more. And I think I'm going to do maybe another 7-day challenge, or maybe a little course on mantra, to share with you, so that, now you have the information of why mantra is so powerful. And now we can go and get into how to do it for ourselves. So thank you so much. And let me know if you have any questions. You could unmute, and I'm happy to chat more.
Thank you. That will be wonderful. I will be interested in mantra, um, how to do it. I attended the Cambridge Center for Meditation Center in Cambridge. I think 2 times, but I was not aware of myself, as you mentioned
Mm.
before. So I have so many things in my mind, thinking that I can solve my problem just by thinking and creating the solutions. But I like what you said it before, like everything comes from within. Um, And now, so now I'm more aware of that, and I would like to just experience that with a calm mind that I was not able to do it before. That will be wonderful. Did you do like a group training? So are you planning to do it in group? Are you planning to do it solo or one-on-one?
Yeah, right now I'm thinking of a group course. But if you wanted to work one-on-one, I'd be happy to chat more about what that would look like, what that could look like for you, and what exactly you're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, I love how you said, sometimes we're thinking too much with our heads, and when we think with our hearts, it's totally different. And it comes from more trust within. We have to trust ourselves, not just our brain. Our brain is crucial to live, but so is the rest of our body, right?
Yeah, I think I'm in the process of being more conscious and present, as you mentioned, aware of my thoughts and my actions too. But first, the thoughts, and let the thoughts leave. I remember that a couple of years ago, I think many years ago, probably 10, I attended a hypnosis, hypnosis section at a hospital. I was desperate. I wanted to get a solution for myself. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. The person guided me through begin. I had so many thoughts in my mind, and I realize now why. And the person said to me, just go in and express what you have inside and come back when you're ready. Um,
Mm.
and it's just when you're ready.
Yeah. Yeah. I know sometimes we want to get somewhere so badly that we're forcing things, and sometimes we're not ready. We're not ready to do the thing, to try something. I probably wouldn't have received mantra if I took this class 5 years ago. I actually, when I was looking at my teachers, all of her trainings, you needed five to take, like, to get the full program. And I thought, oh, I'll do all these ones, but I'll just skip mantra. And it's probably the biggest way to transform uh, your life, I think. It's really has major ripples. Um, so yeah, it's fun.
One question, Kathleen.
Yeah.
Do you speak Spanish?
A little.
Because I know someone that um, might be interesting, but the person, I don't know. I'm not sure the person will handle it in English.
Mm.
But I can check. I can ask.
Yeah, I speak a little conversational. I lived in Argentina, but many years ago, like 15 years ago now. Um, and I probably would have to review all the yoga words.
Uh,
But yeah, we can see if it works. That would be fine.
I would like to email you. So I will have questions about the group. What will be the implications of that? Any cost or anything, and the one-on-one. But I will do it through email.
Yeah.
I have been in interviews, so this couple of weeks are going to be very busy. Plus, I'm a volunteer with the H-Tron too.
Oh.
So, and I have a presentation for next week. So I will get in touch with you, and I really appreciate you sharing your experience.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad you joined. I'm so happy you're interested in this. I think that's
Them here.
amazing. Wonderful.
Thank you. And I had to leave because at 12:30 I have an interview.
Yes, Fabiola, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Have a
Kathleen.
great day. Good luck.